Margaret Eswahani, and I'm here with Sister Shireen from Brahma Kumaris. Welcome, Shireen.
Hi, Margaret.
Gosh, we have just, I keep saying this over and over again, and I apologize, but it's been phenomenal. It has just been absolutely a treat. And, as we continue to grow and learn and move, deeper into our soul fitness, Shireen, one of the things that I get worried about is giving up. And giving up on myself, and how do I have the strength to keep going forward? So if you don't mind, could you please share with us a little bit about, the difficulties of falling into the trap of just wanting to throw my hands up in the air and say, I'm done, I give up, and then having the strength to go through?
That could happen with anything, right? Giving up, like in any situation, it could happen with relationships, like a spouse, or it could happen with children, it could happen in your job.
Yeah.
It's an important thing. I always tell myself, like if you're getting disheartened, and it happens to all of us.
Yes.
It happens to all of us. When I was very sick, I got very disheartened at one point. And I used a particular technique to keep getting myself out of it. And that's the technique I'm going to share. And one of the things I always tell myself is if I'm being disheartened, I'm telling myself the wrong story. My perception of what is going on is skewed, is wrong.
Okay.
And so one of the ways that you set it right is write. You write down. I mean, even if you're not a writer, just take a small piece of paper and write down all of the things that are bothering you about the situation.
Okay.
All of the, all of the players in the situation, and you as a player. So let's say it's your children.
Yes, it happens a lot. I get disheartened quite a bit with that.
So let's say it's your children. So you write down what's going on with your children and what's going on with you. Write down the situation. Write down what they are doing or saying, and what is that you are doing or saying.
Okay.
Write it down.
I think that's really good because it makes me acknowledge it.
Yes,
right
yes.
there.
And also what happens is then you can distance yourself a little bit. This whole act of writing distances yourself a little bit.
Okay, I like that.
Okay, so write it down.
Okay.
And then after you write it down, this is where the meditation comes. You sit down, and I usually go up above, about let's say 20-30 feet above.
Okay.
And I watch myself.
So I'm in a quiet space and I'm meditating, but I visualize myself.
Yes,
out,
yes,
and
above. Looking like a kite, no? Like there's a kite above you and you are the kite and you're looking at you, this actor.
Excellent.
Okay?
Excellent. Okay, continue.
And then you start talking to yourself. I'm an actor, they are actors. Even though they are children, they are my children, they are also actors. And one of the things about children, I'm sorry to be using your children, please apologize
That's
to
okay.
them. Because I know you've told me so many times how many problems you have with your children.
Yes.
And so what you do is, one of the things about children, and I feel these days a lot of actors in the play, like I'm an actor, you're an actor, a lot of people, their inherent, it seems to be written in their script to be selfish.
Yes, very much so.
So especially teenagers, no?
Yes.
It's written in their script to be selfish. That's the job description.
Yes, and mine do it very well. I love them immensely, but they're good at it.
Right. So that's the job description. So you have to look at their job description and say they're playing their act very well. That seems to be part of their script, and they are doing it so well.
Right.
And then you step back even more. And then you tell yourself, I have power. My mind has power. I have not utilized my powerful mind completely. All our minds are immensely powerful.
Mm-hmm.
and I have power. And I have power when I cleanse my mind, when I fill my mind with pure thoughts. That's when my mind becomes powerful. And with that powerful mind, I have the ability, I got this. I have the ability to transform. So you have to tell yourself, I've got this, I've got this detachment, I've got the story, and I've got the purity of mind. And everything else will follow.
That's really an excellent analogy, because so many of us, we have children or we have incidences, and when we can sort of rise above and look at it a little bit separately, there is that detachment. And it gives us a different perspective where we don't want to give up, because in the here and now, it's so easy to just want to give up and just say, I tried my best. But if I can rise above and look at it above, then I rejuvenate myself to not give up.
Right.
Shireen, could you help us walk through an exercise
I
to help that?
would be overjoyed.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So again, sit back, relax, and hopefully by now, before you start the exercise or even after this exercise, take some time and write. But for now, let's pick 2 or 3 things that the other person does. Pick a situation that you are in conflict with someone and where you are about to give up. And write down 2 or 3 things the other person does in your mind. Just think about it. Even one thing that the other person does you absolutely don't like. And then your response or your reaction every time that happens. Think about that. And then now, very gently, rise above. With your mind, of course. We don't levitate here. With your mind, with your mind's eye, rise above and look down. Look down on you and the situation and that person. Maybe about 20, 30 feet above, and you look down. And remind yourself, I'm an actor, the other person is an actor. And as part of the act, they are playing really wonderfully well. It's just an act. Behind these costumes, both of us are pure souls. Both of us are peaceful souls. But right now, there's an act going on, and it's okay. I accept the act. And the only way I can change this is if I shift the responsibility to myself. And I become a pure soul. I want to clean my mind. I want to make my mind pure. And tell yourself, I got this. I got how to be a detached observer. I know how to clean my mind. And I know how to watch. And that is the basis for transformation. And that is the basis for overcoming disheartenment. Is I shift my focus to what I can control in this situation. I can control being a detached observer. And I can focus on purifying the mind. And with those thoughts, with this technique of watching, purifying, and taking stock of my own emotions, I come back to this room. Om Shanti. I am peace.
Om Shanti. That is really, once again, I am at a loss for words at how powerful and wonderful these experiences are. I think that you gave us some great advice about not being disheartened, and that is writing things down. There's something very powerful about taking it from our mind and actually putting it in a physical piece of paper, and letting it out of here and out of our body and out of our mind.
Right.
And it's almost like I can wad it up and throw it in the trash if I want to,
Right, right.
And so that's a really great exercise, and you also mentioned that can help us detach a little bit.
It detach, and also what happens is once you start writing what they did and what I did, it's almost like I'm writing a script, right? I can't control their script. I can control my script, but they have their own script. That person said this and did this and this happened, that's their script.
Right.
And I promise you, my dear viewers, I promise you, you do this enough times, this exercise, and you will see a result. You will see benefits.
Yeah. And I have to just go back to this writing this down, because I really feel that that's so powerful, because it's almost like releasing and getting it out and then detaching yourself. And then it also, at the same time, by detaching yourself, I mean, for me in this experiment, an experience, it gives me a little inkling of hope. Then I can change what I'm telling myself. I can change that story.
The story I tell myself, yes. The story we tell ourselves is very important to disheartenment. I always feel, change your story inside your head, and that's good.
Yes. So I think all of us can, it's so simple to even jot down a few words or just a few adjectives that are bothering us about a particular situation, and then setting it aside, and then going back and being introspective and changing the dialogue in our mind, and not being disheartened and saying, okay. And by releasing that, correct me if I'm wrong, it gives us that little bit of hope, maybe, to not give up. Not give up.
Right.
Any additional words of wisdom for us, Shireen?
The idea of being an actor is very important. To remember, I'm an actor, the other person is an actor. Like Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage.
Yes.
Everyone are merely players. And so, and many people throughout the ages have said that. Mm-hmm. And to remind ourselves, we are actors. And I can't write anyone's script. I don't have control over anyone's script.
Right. No, that's very powerful, because I am only in control
of my own script.
Right. And they write theirs, I
write
mine.
Right. And my script and my story changes when I start purifying the mind.
Right. And when we purify our mind, then we regain the strength to not want to give up.
Right.
Not want to be disheartened and just let it go and fall into a negative trap.
Right.
It gives us the strength to take a step back out of the scene, that scene in the act play, and look at it from stage right or stage left, if you will, for my limited acting, knowledge, and get a different perspective.
Right.
So, fantastic, Shireen. once again, thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Margaret.
Look forward to our next session. Thank you.